Something interesting going on in North Dakota right now. Recently enacted, the governor there enacted a 30-day ban on Kratom, and then calling a special session for next month to consider then a permanent ban on Kratom. This is other states like Minnesota enacted some restrictions on who can buy it at age limits. Other states are looking at variations of restrictions and outright bans. Some other states already have outright bans on Kratom. Let's bring in Jack Dura with the North Dakota Monitor, who's been kind of covering this issue in North Dakota. Jack, I see you there. Thank you for being with us.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So this, first of all, let's talk about the governor's order from last week with a 30-day ban. Leading up to a special session. How much had gone into this prior to that? I mean, how much had this been discussed? How much of it had you covered? I mean, is this a long time coming, or was this something that had picked up speed more recently?
This was a more recent development. The legislature last year had considered bills to ban a component of Kratom and to study the issues around Kratom, but the one bill was defeated, and the legislature decided not to take up the study. And the governor came out on Monday morning and announced his ban of Kratom and Kratom-related products, and said that this was in line with action by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration.
Yeah, he declared a public health emergency to ban the sale, use, and possession of Kratom and related products. Anybody like stores that sell this or people that have purchased it, what are they supposed to be doing now during this even temporary ban?
So consumers and retailers were directed by our state's attorney general to dispose of their Kratom and these products at drug take-back centers at law enforcement agencies and certain pharmacies around the state that would participate in this. It's about 200 drop-off sites statewide.
Any sense yet? I know this is relatively new. Have you been able to get any sense about how many people are abiding by that and dropping things off?
Not yet. That's an interesting question that I know lawmakers have, is how many people use Kratom and these other synthetic products, which they're eyeing in a more targeted fashion to ban these synthetic products and maybe take a more nuanced approach to natural Kratom. They're really they appear to be trying to distinguish between the two.
Yeah. Now, the 3-day special session then to deal with a permanent ban on September 2nd. I was looking up a list here of other states. Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Louisiana, Tennessee, Vermont, Wisconsin, Connecticut prohibit entirely. North Dakota looking at the same thing. Any sense for how much support there would be in this session and the likelihood of a full ban to pass?
We'll get a good look at what legislation will be proposed in the next few days, but it seems there's support for a total ban on these synthetic products. These products that use components of Kratom referred to as mitragynine and 7-OH that are synthesized into potent addictive forms that state officials are linking to overdoses and deaths. And there seems to be support for a total ban on those products and weighing what restrictions such as age limits, other guardrails on natural Kratom.
Yeah, read too that I think this might have been your reporting that Kratom-related calls to poison control in North Dakota have risen from 7 in 2024 to 22 last year. So certainly, those numbers are playing into this issue.
Correct. Yeah, those numbers were referenced just yesterday at a meeting of the legislature's Kratom working group by a state health and human services official who pointed out that more than threefold increase in poison control calls.
Now, and two, what I've been reading, and I understand, and you can tell us more about this, is that there has been talk from lawmakers to potentially address other topics during this 3-day session. Again, called to focus on Kratom, including a fundraising shortfall for the military gallery in the state capitol grounds, and a lawmaker that wants to put a bill in about banning non-disclosure agreements for potential data center development. Either one of these have a chance of being included in the special session?
Certainly we're watching for that. North Dakota is unique in that our legislature meets every 2 years, and the next session won't start until January. That's still several months away. And when bills take effect, the governor wants to take care of Kratom now rather than
wait till January.
Bills that will take effect a year from now. So the other topics remains to be seen. The military gallery, we are expecting there will be some kind of solution or a lifeline crafted there. Certainly the data center topic, like all around the country, it has a lot of people interested, and I'm sure they'll consider it and hear about it, but it's tough to say whether that will get through the wickets.
Yeah, it sounds like there's been some pushback from other legislative leaders saying, no, we want to focus on Kratom. That's why we're going to be here.
Right. That's we've had several special sessions in recent years for a variety of topics, and it is always interesting to see what unrelated topics to the special session lawmakers bring forward for consideration. Now, what they'll be considering is not whether to pass the bill, it's whether to even consider it and advance it for the full legislature to decide.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate you taking some time today as so many states wrestle with a number of issues, a data center one, but Kratom certainly has become an increasingly talked about topic in state houses across the country. So appreciate the time.
Thank you.
You bet.